Hey everyone, it's Lee with Mantis Mechanics, and I'm here to give you your next progression for the hardest stance in Kung Fu. The Mantis stance, cat stance, tiger stance, whatever you want to call it. Same thing. We talked about how ankle mobility could be a problem, how not sequencing the movement in the proper way could be hindering you, not having enough strength. So we gave you 3 exercises that are going to help you with strength and stability, your balance. Okay, now we're here to actually get into the stance. So what I have here is a squat rack. And I have the squat rack. You don't need a squat rack for this. I'm just using the squat rack because it's the only thing I have that will do this. I have a resistance band here. Okay, and you'll see got a bunch of resistance bands here. One's a really thick one. That's going to give you the most resistance. And a thin one, which is going to give you barely resistance at all. If you're just starting out on this, start with the thickest one and then move your way towards the thinner one. But what I've done is I have 2 anchor points and I've anchored it to my squat rack. And I've anchored it so that the band is right at the start of my butt crease, right where my butt begins. That's where I want this band, okay? You can use 2 poles. Doesn't have to be a squat rack, like I said. All you need are the bands. You can find them online very easily. If you don't want to buy them, most gyms nowadays have these things at the gym. So if you have a gym membership, you can, excuse me, you can go to the gym and get these. Now, what we're going to do is we can sit down. If you look when I sit down onto this, it gives me some support, right? This is a fairly thick band, so it gives me support, okay? The support is coming from underneath. This makes it easier for me to do this. So if I weigh 185 pounds, this is resisting at, let's say, 50 pounds, 60 pounds. So it's like I only weigh 120 pounds. So it's much easier for me to get lower with the band. So what I'm going to do, I can do 2 things. I can sit down on the band, switch my weight over to the right leg, and go into my stance, and just hold it there, or I can go right down into the single leg stance, however I want to do it, right, and just hold it. And I'm going to hold it for a period of time. Let's say I can hold it for 45 seconds. I hold it for 45 seconds, I take a 45-second break, and I come back and do it again. Now this time I may only get to 30 seconds, let's say. After 30 seconds, I take a 30-second break. I come back. Now this time I can only get to 15 seconds. I take a 15-second break, then I come back, and let's say I only do 2 seconds. Okay, I go down, I'm like 1, 2, and I get back up right away. Okay, that's the end of the exercise on that leg. Now switch and do the other leg. You're going to keep on doing this. So hold it as long as you can. However long you hold it, you're going to rest for that period of time and keep on doing it going so on until you fail, right? Once you get about a minute on each leg, you should be changing the thickness of the band. Go on to a thinner band once you get to a minute and start the process all over until you're ready to go to our next and final progression, okay? Before going into the hardest stance in Kung Fu without any assistance at all. So let me know what you think of this. Try this out. I promise you it's going to make you feel like you have Kung Fu superpowers, that you can go a lot lower than you probably can without it. It really helps a lot of people get into the lower stance, feel what it's like, hold it and build up their strength and actually get into that position that they want to get into. So let me know what you think in the comments below and keep practicing until then.